Hey, good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks for joining today's webinar, Moving Business Online Solutions, Tips and Tricks. So I definitely appreciate you spend the time with me in a beautiful morning on Friday. And I will try to get this presentation, this whole seminar in 1 hour. I will leave 10 to 15 minutes at the end for the Q&A. Also, at the end of this webinar, I will have some exciting giveaways and announcement for very special guest speaker for next week's seminar. And before we jump into the presentation, I would like all of you to mute your microphone so all of us can have a better webinar experience. But please feel free to unmute yourself if you need to ask. If you need to ask any question, because I will not look at the chat window all the time. And thanks a lot for your support. Yeah. All right. So a little bit disclaimer for today's webinar. Oh, someone's calling. Come on. So we have a lot of stuff to cover today, right? But this is not possible. We leave everything today. Oh, today I have a phone call comes in again. Sorry for the disruption there. And this whole presentation is based on our experience and research, and with a good intention to give as much information as possible to help the business community to go through the tough time, right? So basically what it says, use it at your risk, and let's go from it. So today we're going to focus on two things, right? Two pressing issue for the business community, right? So with those two issues, for example, the first one, how the business can sell stuff online. The second is once a business wants to go to the online operation, what are those essential functions and what are the options there, right? We cannot get you to be an online tech stack expert in 1 hour, but at least we will have the direction to go, and you know the stuff works. Those stuff works in the industry, right? And we hope that will meet your expectation. And if you have any question or any specific technology along the way, please let me know, and I will try to elaborate more during the presentation. Is that an okay schedule for today? So, yeah. Cool. Thank you, John. You said mute yourself. Let's keep going. A little bit about me. So I have been developing the business solution since 90s, right? I have been the SSP for the security since 2001. I also led the design the Canada Post e-post online service infrastructure. And currently I'm doing a project from More Secure called Neighborhood Watch Plus, which is an AI-based community safety platform. And that is also a business solution for the physical security space. So with those experience, right, create business solutions, jumping from open source to the commercial software. I hope I have that rich background to give you the solution suggestions to the most effective, affordable, and secure solution to your business. And the challenge today, we all know the pandemics, right? It has both a health concern and also we as a business owner or the entrepreneurs, and we have the business, how can we carry on the business during this pandemic situation? And a lot of the business has to jump into the online, right? Because that's pretty much the only way for them to do the business online, to carry on their business, right? So the challenge there is not only there is technical difficulties there, but also the security side. You need to get your business open to the public, and including your used to be the internal business operation as well. There is someone just joining. I will let him in first. Jesse. Yeah. Hello, Jesse. Thanks for joining us. So I will keep going. So the challenge with those challenges, right? Add on top of that is a security impact, right? Because now you need to have your business process online, open to the public, since you want to be able to access it from anywhere, and also used to be 9 to 5 type of operation for your business. Now it's pretty much 7/24. You have to leave your infrastructure online, always on. And with those new security impact, right, we need to pay a lot more attention how to operate your business online securely. And we all know no matter it's a small business, small, medium-sized business, or the enterprise, right? The lack of resource, like financial resource and expertise in-house, it's always a challenge there. So we have to navigate through this pandemic and also deal with those challenges along the way. But as entrepreneurs, right, we always look at the bright side from those kind of challenges as well. That includes the new business revenue model. Even during the pandemic or after the pandemic, we call it as a new norm at this moment, right? And we hope by pushing your business online, that will create more efficient business and more resilient to you. And also with more flexibility to your employee. And we hope that will create a happy employee and a much more loyal employee for us, for business owner as well. So this is one of the success example to do everything online at this moment. I do see the tremendous business growth for this company, and the stacks they're using is kind of like they have their own proprietary software stacks there. You can say they integrate some technology like a payment processor, Ruby on Rails for their application. And they also have those online analytic and e-commerce marketing solutions like MailChimp, those kind of things in place as well. So with those complex stack, right, we have to pretty much using a divide and conquer type of approach. We look at each individual function. What are those essential functions for you? And we will go through each one of them, right? The first thing, how we can sell online, right? So with the traditional way, we all know people can take even phone call, right? And some smart business owners, like some of the restaurant owners, right, after the pandemic, they quickly create some of the social network group, and they just put their menu in their group, and also they get the people to buy from the social network group, right? Of course, when they need to do the financial transaction to do the payment, they have to be on the site. But anyway, with those traditional traditional options, they can do that, and they can keep the business going, right? There's nothing to stop the business. So it's all about your creativity. But those are not necessarily the best way to do that, because it's easy to make mistake and also not very efficient at all. And also it will be hard to create your online, if people are moving to online, you need to create a brand name there as well. So people are starting, not starting, people are all already looking at all kinds of options to do to their e-commerce solution, right? So the first one I would say is a e-commerce marketplace, right? Amazon, eBay, Etsy, those are the typical market space. They can sell pretty much a lot of the goods there. And there are some specific ones for the restaurant industry, right? Skip the Dish, Uber Eats. Those are for the restaurant, and the Instacart are for the grocery. With those marketplace type of solution, you can easily set up your online sales, but you are also getting to a heavily competitive marketplace, which means people go to those marketplaces, they can buy your stuff, or they can quickly turn to your competitors, right? So you're competing heavily with your competitions is pretty high there too. And also those marketplaces, they charge you by the transaction fees as well. So for each transaction, you got to cut a big portion to the marketplace provider. For example, for the restaurant industry, right? You normally need to pay 30% to the of the transaction, each transaction to the marketplace providers, which to a lot of business is a quite heavy burden there. So for the business, the better way to do their e-commerce, right? Nowadays, if you need to build your brand name, so you get your customer into your own e-commerce store, and they will focus on try to buy stuff from you, right? So those are the solutions we call it as an e-commerce platform. So with those typical platform provider, Shopify, Activate, or you can add the WooCommerce to your WordPress-based website in order to do the e-commerce, build up your e-commerce site, right? The Seiner is another newer type of the e-commerce platform, and it's also open source. You can add the Seiner to the newer bread of the Jamstack website. I will talk about that Jamstack in the later slide. So with those kind of e-commerce platform, it's also they focus on the easy of use, and you can build up the e-commerce site quickly. And on top of that, you don't need to pay the transaction fee. You can connect all kind, except Shopify. Shopify allows you to have transaction free, but you have to use a Shopify payment gateway. For the other e-commerce platform I mentioned here, you're free to choose any payment gateway such as Stripe, Square, or whatever you want to use to hook into your e-commerce site in order to get the payment done there, right? But with Shopify, if you don't use a Shopify gateway, payment gateway, you will have to pay the transaction fee. So keep that in mind. And also the Shopify compared to Activate. Activate is kind of simpler, and it's more tailored to the small to medium-sized business. And they have a free forever plan. If you only need to sell like less than 10 products, right, online, you can use Activate for free forever. So which I think it will be a good start for people if they want to sell online. Sorry, 1 second. So also the e-commerce function comes with some of the large business suite tool. For example, in here, I'm using Odoo as an example. So what Odoo is a suite of integrated business application that include a lot of functions I will touch upon later. But here, I'm not talking about those large, very large, like enterprise solutions such as SAP, as we probably all know, and or the Salesforce, those kind of stuff, right? Because today's audience is more tailored to the small to medium-sized business owners, right? So with SAP, as we all know, it's very heavy and it's very expensive from my experience, right? Not only you need to pay a lot of money to purchase a license, but in order to implement, customize the solution, those professional services are normally very, very high to any business, to be honest. So the other type, as now people are more into the social networks, like Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, or any Google type of services such as YouTube, right? Or the Google Maps, those kind of stuff. The newer brand of the e-commerce platform, they try to give you the function to sell on top of those Facebooks. So how that works, right? For example, people can use an Instagram. They used to use Instagram as a marketing tool only. Some of them, right? Instagram is more for people to share those cool stuff, and now people can even buy stuff from Instagram. So with those, when you see a nice picture, you click on that, and you are able to buy the stuff showed up in the pictures, right? So with those kind of like social, I call it as a social e-commerce platform, right? If you have your solution, is able to get into the social network in order to sell there. So obviously that will increase your exposure, and you will have a lot of chances to sell your stuff. So for example, this is like the Google suite of tools. This is called Google Shopping, also called Google Display Network. And you can market and sell your products there, no matter people is in the YouTube, Gmail, or any kind of like, or Google Plus, that kind of stuff. So which is very exciting. You can get a lot of the exposure there. Is there any problem or any questions so far for the e-commerce section? You guys can always unmute yourself if you want to ask a question, or you can just type in the chat window. I will look into the chat window from time to time. Or if not, we will keep going to the website function. So in the past, right, when you ask someone to create a website, they will always ask you if you need a static website or dynamic website. A static website is one that is usually written in plain HTML, and the code of the page is what displayed to the user. So it will not change during the way. It's cheaper to create, but once you create the site, you want to do the ongoing content update, you have to pay for that kind of update because it's not normally that easy for the business owner to do that by himself, right? Or in the contrary, when we talk about the dynamic site, so it's using the code to get the content from other files and the database. So it will generate a display depending on the actions taken by the user. So normally the business can create content through an intuitive interface by themselves. Therefore, there will be very little or low ongoing content update cost, but it will cost you a little bit more when you want to create a dynamic site. So those are the traditional two big categories, static or dynamic, right? So dynamic, you normally use, like nowadays, you go to a lot of the website. It's a very fancy website. You can say it's based on WordPress, which used to be a blog platform, but people use it to do a lot of website building nowadays. Or you can use some content management system such as Drupal to build up your dynamic website, right? Those WordPress, Drupal, you can always, it's an open source tool, open source platform. You can always use, create the site in your own infrastructure, or you can just use some third-party service provider to host your WordPress site or the Drupal site, right? But anyway, those no matter what, it's very inexpensive for business to have online presence for those WordPress or Drupal websites, right? The other newer service on the market is called Wix. It's also very inexpensive. You can use a very easy to use website editor, drag and drop to create your site, right? Also with some business suite tool such as Odoo, you can create your dynamic website as well. It also comes with a very easy to use drag and drop interface. So combine the newer breed of the website technology, we call it as a Jamstack, which stands for JavaScript, API, and the markup. And that combines the static website and the dynamic site, both the advantage and took out those disadvantage. Because for the dynamic website, one of the big concerns for the normal business, especially SMB, when they don't have enough resource, right, they need to consider is a security aspect of the dynamic website. Because once you can change, just think, once you can change the content, anyone on the internet, they have the opportunity, they probably can do that content change once they get into your dynamic website through your administration portal. I will demonstrate a little bit more for how people will normally explore those kind of sites later. So for the Jamstack in a country, it has a benefit of the static website, like performance, like security. You don't need to worry too much about the security. It's easy to do. And you have the dynamic feature. You can create a content from another API provider, and that combined together to have those both benefit, right? And Gatsby is an open source based product solution there. And in the Jamstack, the key component is called static site generator. So Gatsby is one of that. And this is actually I got from the Jamstack website. You can see the benefit why people are moving to the Jamstack. And this is the stack I'm using for my own site, moresecure.com. You can say I'm using the Odoo to build up this website, and Odoo platform itself comes with a whole bunch of like best practice with it in terms of the website building. So now I'm going to show you something about the security. Just give me 1 second. Let me. Let me go to the google.com. There we go. Can you guys see the screen here? I have google.com here. So for example, if I go there, I search, because recently I have done quite some internet marketing research in order to get my business up and running. So for example here, right? So we have a lot of like digital marketing firms. If I go Vaughn Internet Marketing, Google search, right? For example, this guy here is doing digital marketing service. It's on the ad, Google Ads here as well. If I click into this website, so you can see a very fancy website there. They have a lot of function. Those folks are pretty much into the digital marketing space. Quite some stuff there, and with a lot of other like insights, blah blah blah. So with those things, I show you just one very simple trick here. So if you say okay, login. So what do you say here, right? It's a it's a WordPress based website, and you can try to log in from there, like with their username, password. And if you don't manage this part of the website, very easily people can try to brute force to get into your site, and they were able to, like once they are in, if you don't monitor the security aspect of your dynamic website based on like a WordPress. And also, as we all know, WordPress has quite some like vulnerabilities in the past that just gives a hacker a lot of here is another site, for example, right? So those are like very common. You go to those sites, it's either admin or just login. See, again, a WordPress, right? So with those things in mind, you have to say, you have to do some security monitoring. If you don't monitor, people can keep trying their username, password until they get in. So once they get in, not only they can change the content, but the even worse part is they can put some malicious code into your content. And once your customer or your the visitor to your site can get affected by those security embed malicious code. So that's thing here. Yeah. So I'm going back to my slide now. There we go. So let's move on to the essential functions here. So one of the big function, big essential business function is a marketing, or we call it in the CRM space. So what those marketing will do is it will help you create the pipelines, right? To get your prospects turned into your customers. How we can do that, right? There are some tools like online tools. They have the free free portion. Like for example, the HubSpot, right? It has a free like a edition, and also it has a paid version for that. The HubSpot is a pure online solution, and Odoo in the country, it's also it also has the online edition and also the on-premise edition. which means if you, for example, some of the business say, okay, my customer information is crucial. I don't want to even have the possibility to share it with any other people. So they can deploy the technology inside their own infrastructure, right? So Odoo gives you that kind of flexibility. So for those CRM, right, solution, it will help you stay connected, right, with the customers. And you, for example, from the slides, you can say it will let you track the leads, and you can close those opportunities quicker. And also along the way, you can get accurate forecast for your pipelines as well. So just to keep that in mind, when if you want to do those marketing CRM, you can either use a HubSpot or you can use Odoo for that purpose. And Odoo lets you be able to connect with other business functions they provide as well, because it's an all integrated solution for your business. And the next essential function, I call it as, I think that should be the sales, because think about the sales process, the whole sales life cycle management, right? How you can send the polished, like here from a screenshot, you can say it's a very clearly indicated it's a quotation to your customer. So those polished quotation to your customer with some sort of like e-signature into it. So that will help you sell faster. So client is able to easily review and sign your online quotation from anywhere. So that will be help you to go like a back and forth communication with your client very specifically to that code, and help you close a deal faster, right? And also, it will maximize your profit by upselling. For example, how it works is it will increase your sales volume by automatically proposing like extra options and accessories, and you can apply different kind of closing trigger, discount, and more into your whole sales cycle. Overall, you can sell faster, you can sell more with those kind of sales automation tool. And here, like HubSpot, again, it give you the free edition, and if you need to have a fancier functions, you have to pay for that into their sales hub. That's what they call. And Odoo at the same time give you that kind of capability as well, with some like a module. For example, the e-signature, that's a dedicated module for the Odoo Business Suite. So overall, both solutions are inexpensive, very inexpensive to get started. And the next function is an inventory. So with the modern online, like how you can manage your warehouse, how you manage the reception and the delivery of your product, right? So with those kind of better management for the warehouse, in the Odoo space, it provides what's it's called smart double entry inventory system. And you can create a rule to automatically replenish your stock as well. And you can have that total tracer capability in your warehouse management. In that way, you can maximize your warehouse efficiency, improve the performance, and improve the process time. So here, like I just list the Odoo there because it's such a nice, well-designed all-in-one solution, and you can benefit from either just one single module or to get started, and you can grow your business along the way. And the accounting function for sure is essential for you. And with all those like offer from the market, right? For example, Wave Accounting, FreshBook, right? FreshBook used to be only provides invoice. That's why I get started to use them quite a while ago. And then this grow into a more like a full-blown of accounting service. And both Wave Accounting and FreshBooks, and they are all from Toronto, and they are very good group of people. They provide, for example, the Wave Accounting, they provide this whole accounting software online, uh, totally for free for you. And you can easily do the bank synchronization into your accounting system, and you can easily create your statement with one single push of the button. And of course, Odoo has an accounting capability built in as well. So it has all those traditional features like bookkeeping and very beautiful dynamic statement, and also the bank synchronization, and also manage the bills and your expense. What's even more is for the Odoo is with the integration of other Odoo applications such as sales, inventory, expenses, right? You get all those transactions automatically recorded into the accounting system. So that will save you a lot of time. And also the electronic invoicing from the Odoo, and also the automatic follow-up. So that will help the business to get paid faster as well. And the documentation function for you. And we all know we can use Box.com. It's more tailored for the business. Dropbox, although it's tailored for the personal use, I saw people with business are using that, use Dropbox as well. Of course, with a Google Suite, the Google Drive, you can store your product documentation there as well. Odoo comes with a documentation function as well. So with those kind of time saving, you can record, like for example, in the Odoo, right? With that integration there, you can have those contracts, you can have your approving document, and you can have those bills, recording those bills into your documentation system, right? And a lot of the documentation inside Odoo, since it's an integrated suite of tools, will be automatically generated and will be tracked with a version of changes as well. So feel free to use all of them or any one of them. And the email, right? So I'm talking about enterprise email, which means with your own domain, because that will be more professional when you go out to your customer, right? So Google G Suite, it's a paid tool, not very expensive at all. For each person, you pay about $50 a year for G Suite. That will enable you to use their email, the Google Drive, whole bunch of things there. And Zoho, it provides a free edition, but with limited function. The Tencent, the provider from like a WeChat social network, it has a full function and a free version for up to 200 users. I think that's good enough for most of the SMB business. And the video call, I want to mention that for you is since there are some options there, used to be the commercial, but since of the pandemic, for example, WebEx, they now offer you pretty much for free. That's it pretty much. It's actually free for you to use up to 100 users in the video conference call. Zoom is inexpensive. It has a free version, but with some time limitation, like 45 minutes, right, for each video conference. And the Google Hangout, Skype Meet Me, they just released. The Microsoft team, if you have the Exchange or use other Microsoft suite of tool, that's a good video conference call tool for you to use as well. I just want to also specifically mention this GitC for you guys because it's open source based. You can deploy in your own infrastructure, or you can just use that meet.gitc to you don't need to have registration. You don't need to download any software. You can just create a video conference from that website, and it has end-to-end communication encryption. So it's a fairly much more secure solution if you want to do the video conference call. And it's totally free for you to use. So with so many stacks in place, right, what's a strategy? You maybe say, okay, I don't know what to choose, right? Here is what I'm thinking. It all depends on your needs, right? If you just want to get online presence, right, like a website, I would say with a Jamstack, that will get you into a better shape, right, with a Jamstack. Or if you just want to quickly offer something to sell online, the Acquate is for sure very easy and a very affordable solution for you. And even you can have the free version to get started, right? To test it out of the water. So it's a good starting there. Or if you say, I want to manage my inventory, I manage my intaking, inbound marketing, and also the sales process. Those kind of things, you can start with either one or two modules with Odoo. So that will help you get understanding, get comfortable, and then grow your business along the way. So as MoSecure, we offer those online solutions as well. Our goal is always effective, affordable, and secure online solutions, right? Our solution is based on Gatsby because we have a whole bunch of websites built on the Gatsby, and we have Acquate and Odoo as a solutions offered from MoSecure as well. We partner with them in order to provide solutions for our customer base. And there are some links there for you to take a look. And don't worry about those links. After the presentation, if you're interested, you can send me an email and I will send a copy of the slide to you. And I want to very specifically mention two resources for you because those are the free trainings. Like this is a free training from Moz. The Moz is kind of like a leading SEO technology provider. They now offer this Moz Academy free training for you till May 31st. Sorry, not March. So until May 31st, you can go to Moz Academy and you can learn quite some SEO skill sets there. And also this one, AdZoomer. So this provide all their suite of the online ads management tool, or you can call it as ad sales automation or marketing automation tool. It's more like in the marketing space if you talk about ad, right? So they offer that tool for you for free until June 1st. So within this period of time, it's absolutely the best opportunity for you to just test those technology out and try to do some SEO, do some online advertising with those support of the tools, and help you move your business into another level. And of course, because you attended today's webinar, I would like to offer this free managed Jam service for you for your own domain. How it works, you go there, the website xiaoju.ca to register, and you mention the webinar today, I will be able to create an account for you, and you can use that free GEM service for free. This xiaoju.ca was originally created for the non-profit organization only, but since we have to, as a business community, deal with this pandemic situation, we open that to the business community, especially for today's attendees as well. So now with all that, is there any question? I will just check the chat window now. Yeah. So Joe has
I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of companies use WordPress, well, tons of websites, and because they're open source, obviously there are the security risk is higher. How do you find WordFence in helping stopping hackers access the WordPress login? Do you find is that a reputable software? Or do you know WordFence?
Actually, I don't know about the WordFence. I will definitely look into that, and I will get back to you after this webinar. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because
I can. Hello.
Sorry for that. I was not very much into, to be honest. A WordPress for me is kind of like a old stack. It's a PHP based technology.
Right.
Platform anyway. So I personally I don't okay. deal with that a lot. But I will definitely look into the WordFence, and we can discuss after for some good and bad there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Joe.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, this is William. So I can answer Joe's question. I'm using the WordFence, so quite a bit. So it's effective, even the free version. It's quite effective to prevent the hackers.
Oh,
okay,
that's good.
Try.
That's good. So so if I can guess, that WordFence is pretty much like a web application firewall specifically tailored for WordPress. Is that correct, Winnie?
Yeah, yes. It's an antivirus software firewall for WordPress. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so, good to know. Thank you, Winnie. Yeah.
No problem. So in case since the WordPress is quite popular and a lot of hackers are on it, so some of my website use the OpenCart.
OpenCart, right?
Yeah, my question is, I don't have any experience on making it secure from hackers. So, anyone has any comments how to make OpenCart secure? That's my question. So I would like to know. Thank you.
Yeah, in terms of the OpenCart, right, that kind of thing, you can, from the security perspective, it's better to apply some sort of web application firewall. And I know one of the product called Incapsure. It actually offers some kind of free version to you as well. So,
which software? Can you type it?
It's called Incapsure. If I can, I will get back to you after the webinar. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So in this case, because we are talking about the specific web application, so in general, we just add a web application firewall, or we call it WAF, right, in order to deal with those kind of situation. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Waiting. And Ben has a question. Is Jamstack SEO optimization friendly compared to WordPress? Yeah, that's absolutely, Ben. Jamstack, it comes with because it's open source, and from my experience with Gatsby, it has all kinds of modules, right, to enhance your SEO optimization. So it's absolutely very much tailored to the SEO space with those Jamstack product solutions. For example, you go to the Gatsby word, you will find a whole bunch of SEO topics there, and you will be able to get a lot of like tips and tricks from what people are talking about, and also the modules specifically help you with SEO. And for John Do, hey, thank you, John Do. Good example for security. How long and how much to set up online and a secure e-commerce website. In another word, how would more secure change? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so for, okay, there's one more joining, Coco. Hey, welcome, Coco. You're at the very last moment of this webinar. Sorry for that. So, but anyway, John Do, in order to set up an e-commerce website, for example, if we go to the Acquate, it's just a matter of the, I think it depends on how many products you want to set up there. It could be just a matter of hours, right? Within 1 hour, we can easily sign up and set up, and you get your e-commerce site up and running quickly. But anyway, next week, we're going to do a deep diving for how we can set up the e-commerce site. And I currently don't have the English version for xiaozhu.com, .ca, and we have to, yeah, as I mentioned, originally it was a target or the made for those online, like not-for-profit organizations, specifically in the Chinese community. So that's why the xiaozhu.ca is kind of like the website. It's a more like it's purely Chinese there. So any other questions so far? If not, I will go to the thank you page. Now we're at 11:29. I would like to thank you everyone for coming today's webinar. So I hope I have described the nitty-gritty of online business operations. And now you're equipped with the tools to carry forward your business online. Although it's in a high level, yeah. But if you need more information or a copy of the slide, you are more than welcome to reach me on my email, LinkedIn, or from the company website contact form, right? Meanwhile, I got very exciting news for everyone on the call today. Next week, at the same time, I will have a guest speaker who is a #1 best-selling author in 6 categories on Amazon. And that is Joe Mandelbaum. And next week's topic is e-commerce deep dive by examples. I will showcase how we can build an e-commerce site in a very short period of time in different examples. And I have a guest speaker for all of us as well. Like that's pretty much like one more thing, right? So Joe has been in the online space. He wrote a book called Winning Online, Increase Your Visibility and Crush Your Competition. Sounds exciting, right? And he is going to be on the call next week to help every one of us to learn a little better how to convert better. And you will receive a registration link for next week's webinar shortly. Please sign up and forward to your friends so they can thank you for the benefit of this webinar series. And thank you all for attending and enjoy the rest of the beautiful day.